All right, let's try this again. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court Criminal Docket for August 23rd, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our first case, please?
First one is on bottom of page 8, Judge.
Go ahead.
In cause number 2020-0D05788 and 2022-0D02344, State of Texas versus Marcus Jerome Peoples. Announcement of council, please.
Robert King for the state of Texas. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alyssa Nava on behalf of Mr. Marcus Peoples, and we're ready to proceed.
Okay, and Mr. Peoples is in custody. You're waiving your client's appearance, Ms. Nava. We're set for probation status hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I think I was confused, Carla. I was looking at another case on that BHRTC. He's eligible, was screened. We've been waiting for a minute, so I'm good. If we're good to send him off to BHRTC, let's go ahead and do that.
Judge, if I may, the only thing we are pending are the new cases. That's been the issue for the past couple of months. He does qualify. We've had him screened since June, but we are pending the new cases. So we either need to get him on fear bonds or get the cases disposed of.
I just saw that one. Ms. King, what are we doing with 2344?
Your Honor, I'm going to end up actually dismissing that one as long as he gets modified and to go to BHRTC.
Okay, and when does he term on this case? Oh, not till 2028. So, you know, he's getting a dismissal and he's still on deferred, Ms. Nava. So let's get him sent over to BHRTC. And Ms. King, if that's the case, will get me the dismissal and if there's a motion also. Okay. Thank you very much.
Your
Thank
Honor,
you. Monday.
do you think the court would be able to schedule Mr. Peoples this afternoon? I do need to get him signed, or I can see what I can do to get somebody at the jail to get the paperwork he needs.
We can try, but I would hate to put the jail, you know, to scramble around like that. I'm happy to set him for next week with the understanding that they're just going to go over the paperwork with him.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll put him for 1 week out for a probation status, but that's Ms. Nava, I don't really need you to be here unless we have some kind of hiccup that you know of from your client's end. And the purpose will be just to have him signed up for BHRTC. Is that what you need? Is that what you need, Carla?
Yes, Your Honor. And if something happens throughout the week where I can see if somebody, or I can talk to somebody at the jail, or Ms. Nava is going to see him, if we work it out, I'll let you know, Judge. But
okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Who's next?
You as well.
Top of page 10, Judge. In cause number 2021-0D00286, State of Texas versus Juan Carlos Ramos Aguilera. Announcement of council, please.
Robert King for the state of Texas.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mario Ortiz Aroli on behalf of Mr. Aguilera.
Good morning. Final hearing plea deadline. Let me just. All right. So we're set for trial this week. How are we doing on this one? What's the rec, Ms. King?
Sorry, go ahead, Ms. King.
Your Honor, I actually sent the plea paperwork for 5 years deferred.
Okay.
And we did receive a judge. We forwarded to our client. He signed off on him. I went over him with him. He's forwarding it back to me. So we should have that today.
Okay.
Support if we can set him up for a plea, judge, in 30 days so we can take care of this.
Absolutely. So what I'll do is I'll reset the final hearing plea deadline for 30 days, anticipating that we will have a plea. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Have a good day. Who's
Thank you.
next?
On top of page 12, Judge. In cause number 2022-0D00112, State of Texas versus Jonathan David Gonzalez. Announcement of council, please.
Javier Salcedo for the state, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
John Slattery for Mr. Gonzalez. Ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Okay, and this is looks like we we bumped it from the last final hearing plea deadline a couple of weeks ago. What are we doing, Mr. Salcedo?
Your Honor, I am going to be submitting a dismissal as Mr. Jonathan Gonzalez pled on a misdemeanor. And so that should be coming
I'll
to the
take care of
court
it.
in the next, yes, ma'am.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much. All right, who's next?
Staying on page 12, Judge, in cause number 2021-0D02321, State of Texas versus Antonio Trejo Hernandez. Announcement of council, please.
Robert King for the state of Texas.
Matthew Pospisil for the defense, Your Honor. My clients are present in my office with me as well.
Okay, and we are also scheduled for a final hearing plea deadline. Before I get to the motion for continuance, Ms. King, what's the rec in this case?
Your Honor, is going to remain on the trial track.
Okay, so there's no rec?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Pospisil, I'm just now seeing, I don't know if it was previously forwarded. Do I have the right one? Yes, let me just look at your motion for continuance. Okay. Ms. King, have you seen the motion for continuance?
Yes, Your Honor, I have. And I also did speak on the phone before the motion for continuance was filed with defense counsel.
Mhm.
So I was aware of,
What's the state's position?
Your Honor, the state is not opposed.
Okay, so this is one, I see there was a previous motion continuance filed by the state. I want to kind of scrutinize a little bit more closely in terms of scheduling. Let me hear from you all. What is outstanding? Obviously, I'm going to grant, without state's opposition, going to grant defense motion for continuance, but I would like to take this time to go ahead and get a realistic trial track set up where we can specially set this case for trial. And so first question I'm going to ask is what's outstanding, if anything, Mr. Pospisil? Are you missing anything in terms of evidence that the state needs to produce, or are we good to go?
For the most part, I do believe I have everything, Your Honor. I would like to have possibly the complaining witnesses' school history records going forward, if that is something we could get with Ms. King about to try and get those requested and subpoenaed.
Okay, so whatever requests, if they haven't already been made, please make those, because if nothing else is outstanding, then I am going to try and schedule it for this year. Do we have any issues in terms of witnesses being out of town, anything like that? No?
Not for
What
this.
witnesses, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mr. Pospisil.
One of my witnesses that I do intend to possibly call, Your Honor, is in the Air Force and is currently deployed. With no option for Ms. King, we could possibly set him up to be allowed to testify over Zoom. That would be the only thing. I don't know when we would be set for trial, where he would be, but we could make arrangements to possibly let him testify over Zoom.
Okay, let me look really quickly at our trial calendar. Offhand, Myrna, do you know of any reasonable or feasible dates for a special setting? Just offhand, I'm looking at the 7th and it looks pretty. There are no special settings anyway. There's only 1, 2, 3.
For this year, Judge?
October 7th, that Friday. Am I missing something? Because I only see 3 cases. I know we've had some things kind of resolve. I believe that's what we had. One of our, I think Philip Mills was originally set for that date, and now that one's been moved. So that date's looking really good for me. Unless I'm
I'm
wrong.
not sure if we have a holiday, Judge, for the,
We'll have the holiday on Monday, but I don't want to not use that day. Let me get Thursday. Not too bad either. But no, I would say, yeah. How does October 7th look for you all?
My schedule's clear, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do October 7th with the final hearing plea deadline on October 4th. As Ms. Hernandez mentioned, that Monday is a holiday, so we'll pick a jury on the 7th. And then, well, shoot. How many jurors are you all thinking we'll need? Let me go to the calendar, see what I.
Your Honor, I believe maybe 2 panels should be.
I think we could do it with 2 panels as well. Let me look and see if what's available. We have the courtroom. We actually have panels on the 6th and 7th. Mr. Marufo, can you confirm, do we have 2 panels each day?
Yes, Judge, we have 2 panels each day with 60 juries.
Yeah. So we're kind of set up already because of Mills. So if Mr. Salcedo would be so kind as to cover our frontliners on that Thursday, then I would prefer to go with as many panels as if I already have them, let's use them, because we never know if sometimes we run the panel. So what that means is we'll have 2 panels of 60 beginning on October 6th. So the trial will begin on October 6th with jury selection. Mr. Pospisil, so you know what we do is basically we start on Thursday and we just go panel after panel until we have whatever we need to make up a jury. So if that means that we have our jury from the first day, I don't have a problem starting evidence on Friday. But you all let me know if you have a preference doing that. Sometimes it leads to uncertainty. So yeah, maybe we just start with evidence on Tuesday.
So I would prefer to do it that way. That we don't
Yeah.
have a holiday break between evidence.
Sure, that's fine. And you know, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we would hit a panel on Friday, just because of, you know, the specifics of this case. So it'll be 60 morning, afternoon, 8:30, 1:30. It gets a little rough there, Mr. Pospisil. I don't know if you've done that before with the picking off of 4 panels. We've done it here, and it can get tiring. So that holiday might be a good break. So in any event, 6 and 7 specially set this case, start evidence on Tuesday. If you're looking for additional discovery, Mr. Pospisil, I would get on that very quickly so we can have that resolved. I don't know if Ms. King has that information already, if that's something she's already got, and it's just a matter of turning it over. If you do, Ms. King, please do so immediately so we don't have any hiccups. Also, anything requiring a hearing before then, please let us know ASAP so we can get you scheduled. And I want to make sure that I confirm that with respect to any witnesses, I know Mr. Pospisil has now mentioned one appearing remotely. I want to make sure there's clear agreement between you and your client and Ms. King to have that witness appear remotely. I don't have a problem with it. I want to make sure you all are okay with that. Okay. All right. We'll get you your settings. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Who's next?
On page 11, Judge, bottom of page 11,
Okay.
in cause number 2021-0D00542, State of Texas versus Manuel Molina Alcantar. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
Alex Shuala for Mr. Alcantar.
Okay. Final hearing plea deadline. What's the rec, Ms. King?
Your Honor, give me 1 second, my system is.
Yeah, Judge, it's not going to matter. This is one where there's an immigration issue, and so we're going to have to try it. I've had him consult with an immigration attorney, and his situation is that he can't take anything that would be reasonable for the state to offer, basically. So I think it's one we're going to try. I have filed a motion for continuance because I'm recovering from bronchitis. As you can probably hear, I don't think I can convince the jury that my client is not a creeper if I sound like a creeper. So, but it's our first continuance, Judge.
Oh yeah,
I think
you're selling yourself short, honestly. But that said, let me get to the right screen. I was on the wrong screen. I couldn't find your case. So let me just look at it. Just have all this motion. Ms. King, what is the state opposed the motion for continuance?
Your Honor, the state is not opposed. I am also covering for ADA Rocco on this case, but we're not opposed.
So the motion for continuance is granted. What is out? So nothing's outstanding, right? We don't have any outstanding discovery, anything like that?
No, Judge, we're ready to try the case. It's just, this health issue, but other than that, we're ready to go. If we could get a setting in October, Judge, there's a case I'm trying that I expect is certainly going to go to trial on September 23rd in the 384th.
Okay.
Unless they dismiss or something.
Let me see. I feel like I've picked my best October date. Oh, okay, there's Miss Nelson. That's the issue. Exit.
Or even after October is fine, Judge. My client is not in custody, so.
Okay, we may have to look at that. So let's just set it, we're not going to specially set it. Let's just set it for November 4th. I don't see any special settings there. There's a few other cases, but we'll just do November 4th. And we'll see what.
We'll be ready.
There. All right. Thank you both. We'll get you your setting. Take care. I hope you feel better.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. Yes, Judge, on page 13. In cause number 2022-0D00563, State of Texas versus Juan Angel Ramirez. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
Cesar Lozano, on behalf of Mr. Juan Angel Ramirez, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Okay, let me see. Did you all sub in, Mr. Lozano?
No, Judge, we're second chair with Ms. Butterworth.
Gotcha. Okay. So set for judges conference. How are we doing on this one? Ms. King, what's the rec?
Your Honor, right now there is not a recommendation. We are still waiting for the firearms to come back from DPS. I was notified updated this morning from DPS that they have yet to start working on testing those because they're backlogged. We have received the biological report for the items that were tested or sent off to DNA. There were 10 items for DNA. The report is already on portal and the date that it actually has is May 26th. So we're just, at this point, we're just waiting for the firearms.
Okay. Mr. Lozano, any requests as of now? I mean, we're a judges conference. We're not quite at 2801s and we're not set for trial till March.
Yeah, not yet, Your Honor. I mean, as you heard, we're still kind of waiting on some stuff before we start filing our motions and stuff like that. So I think we're okay for now. We're just keep working it.
Okay, we'll see you at the next setting file. Anything needs a hearing, let us know. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Who's next?
On top of page 7, Judge. In cause number 2017-0D06448, State of Texas versus Ruben Valdez Mendoza. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
Morning, this adult probation. And Myrna Pages for Mr. Mendoza. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Okay, Mr. Mendoza. Is he here?
No, Judge, he's in custody.
He is? Okay, let me go back. The docket didn't reflect that. Did he just get picked up or something? He's been in there for a minute.
He's been in there for a while, Judge, actually.
Let me see. That's weird. It didn't show up. Yeah, he's in jail. Okay. All right, we're set for a probation status hearing. I'll go back, but I'm pretty sure what I saw in the case summary was some treatment. Let me just. Oh yeah, he's been in 89 days. That's weird. Doesn't say it. Oh, on one case, it does. Oh, no. I'm wrong.
Your Honor, if I may, he does have,
Yes, sir.
He does have 2 new cases.
Right.
And there is a state's motion to adjudicate on this cause number.
Okay, so I think I have these. Oh, I'm confused. So we have a probation status hearing, and that one didn't reflect that he was in custody. The other 2 cases. Okay, Sorry, Ms. King, would you say that again? I'm trying to get my head squared away on this docket.
No problem. I was just saying that there is a MTA filed by the state on this probation, and he does have 2 new charges, and there are pending.
Okay, I see that. I see that now. Okay. So not consistent with reporting new cases. And then one of them is that, right? The failure to comply. But then we also picked up a case. Okay, Ms. Reyes, you're on this one?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're just wanting to assess him through TAP and continue on
never-
probation.
Correct. I know you're looking at me funny, Judge. I know it's not my normal kind of recommendation. But he's never had a TAP assessment. And then I did staff it with one of the counselors, Miss Nancy Pontes, and she said that they're still doing assessments in jail. So she was going to see if she would do it or Mr. Salas.
So that's fine if we want to get a process going. I'm just not real sure that's going to be the end of it, right? Ms. Pages, yeah, you got some input here?
Your Honor, I would like to see the lab results on the new case. We're still waiting on that. We have requested it. I've been following up with the intake department, and that's regarding the possession fentanyl group, I believe.
Okay, but see, I'm looking at the treatment. Did we address the fact that he was dropped from treatment back in March? Because he had excessive absences?
Excessive absences, and that's when we found that he wasn't living where he stated he was. He stopped reporting. Because the cell number that he had provided, and he stopped calling in.
Yeah. It doesn't sound very good. Yeah, I don't even know I want to screen him for TAP. I mean, really. Doesn't take much to know that you have to be found and you have to go to treatment. So what's his history like?
He was attending, and we did have court history with him last year. In September, October, we did bring him, and we had him on weekly reporting, zero tolerance, Judge. And he did okay. Then after December, he was still doing okay. And then come March, he just kind of slipped back.
Yeah. But what's his criminal history like? Does he have?
Your Honor, if I may, he does have a misdemeanor theft. He was placed on deferred back in 2004. He does have, let's see.
Well, okay. Yeah, I don't see too much on the jailings. Yeah, I am definitely not at screen for TAP and continue with some kind of strict reporting. I'm not sure. Monday.
Judge, if I may, so back in July, we were on this case July 13th, and Ms. Reyes did indicate that he had been paying, doing his classes, and only had 1 dirty UA in 5 years. And so I don't know if that's something that, could help him, but he was not doing as poorly. And that was back in July when she related that to us. So I think that's where the TAP assessment came in. He did pick up the new charges, Judge. I am waiting on the labs as well, and obviously to see what the state wants to do, what type of rec I'm going to get.
Okay. All right. Do we have a future setting? We do. It should be the probation cases tracking the new cases. So we can go to the next setting. Hold on one second. Okay, my apologies. My phone almost never rings. Yeah, I say we just go to the next setting.
Okay, and I'm showing a setting of September 27 on the new case. Would that be the same for the probation case?
Yes, we'll just track the new cases. The
Okay.
probation case will track the new cases.
Alrighty.
And we'll see. So do we have a lab requested, Ms. King? Are we inquiring? Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Ms. Reyes.
Thank you, Judge.
Mhm.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused? I think that was the last one for this morning for me.
Yes, thank you for your patience. Who's
Okay.
next?
Thank you, Judge.
Judge may be excused as well.
Yes, Ms. Reyes, thank you.
Thank you.
Let me address Mr. Slattery. John, have we called Mr. Gonzalez yet?
We have. I was just waiting on Mr. Sylvanas. Or is that just not, is that sort of, do we not need to talk to the judge about that?
I think we had already addressed that this morning.
Yeah, the status conference wouldn't go on the record unless you needed something to go on the record, Mr. Slattery.
Okay, that's great news. I do not in that case. Then may I be excused?
Well, it sounds like Mr. Marufo is asking about another client. Is it
Oh,
Mr.
about
Gonzalez?
Gonzalez. Yes. No, Gonzalez was sorted, I believe. We had that dismissal put through.
Okay,
Oh, it was a dismissal. That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Mhm.
Judge, we're only waiting on Mr. Rafael Morales and Mr. Lopez Enrique. They're in another court in person.
Okay, so let's get off of YouTube. We'll take a quick break. I know